Let's talk fuel pumps. What is a fuel pump? It's simply a device, that is either situated inside of your tank, in the bonnet, attached to the engine, or attached to the engine by means of electrical installation. What am I saying? Some fuel pumps like this is attached to the engine by electrical installation, and some are attached to the engine by mechanical installation. Those ones are, triggered to work with the pressure from the engine crank. And these are all electrical fuel pumps. Those are in old school cars where you have such fuel pumps, but these are what you find in modern day cars. As a matter of fact, 99.9% of modern day cars come with fuel pumps like this. Although they come in different sizes because of the capacity of the engine and the weight of the car, but you typically find those fuel pumps in sizes and shapes like this. A lot of cars have fuel pumps this shaped, and you find this particular fuel pump this shaped inside the fuel tank inside your car. You can't actually see it, but you could see this one attached to the engine, and you could see the one that's mechanically attached, to the body of the engine, and gets its pressure from the engine to work. Now, how do you know? Since I'm assuming that we are all using modern day cars, at least from '03 and above, so I'm talking about this in particular. So, how do you know this fuel pump is getting bad, or what are the signs of a bad fuel pump? When you switch on your car, if you have suspect that your fuel pump is bad, when you switch on your car and you open your fuel tank and you hear a sound, that means your fuel pump is getting bad. It means the bearing inside of here, are beginning to have issues. And when you accelerate your car and it responds late, it means you might be having a fuel pump issue. And also, when you try to switch on your car or start your car and it drags before it starts, it means you might be having a fuel pump issue. Especially if you fill your tank to the brim and these symptoms change, I bet you it's a fuel pump issue. Fuel pump issue. And now, let's talk about the causes or the things that makes your fuel pump to have issues faster than normal. The only culprit outside electrical faults, which you hardly have, that will affect your fuel pump, probably you have blown out fuses or relays. Outside that, the major culprit for a bad fuel pump is you, the user, the driver. By what do? You allow your fuel tanks to get to E. Some of us are so comfortable driving our car in reserves. I see a lot of boat drivers that are so comfortable driving their cars, people's cars in reserve, their own cars in reserve. When you allow your fuel get to a point where it's so low that your fuel pump has to suck in air instead of fuel because it's no longer fuel, the bearing inside of here is compromised because the fuel is a lubricant for the bearing inside of your fuel pump. So when you allow your fuel pump to have access to air instead of fuel, air bearing inside of here worked up and they get burnt up and they start having issues. So basically, outside electrical maintenance that doesn't necessarily become an issue frequently, the basic maintenance for your fuel pump is this: when you have quarter tank of fuel, treat your car as if you have empty tank of fuel. You don't want your fuel tank, you don't want your fuel pump to get to a point where the fuel filter that is here has to suck in air and probably suck in dirt because it's so close, to air at this point, because there's no fuel around it to pick up and drag up easily. And when you have limited fuel, the fuel pump has to work much more than normal to drag this fuel close to it through the filter. So, basic maintenance of your fuel pump: always have your tank filled to the brim. The lowest you can go should be at half tank. That is the basic maintenance for your fuel pump. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Ochui. I give real life practical advice for profounding solutions. And bye bye.